Good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar series. Very excited to have you all here today. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a copy and paste of what we spoke about last week, but specifically we're going to talk about business. Why I like to address this quite separately is because the way we speak about the product, not necessarily, we don't change the way we speak about CommBox, and that's what we covered in session 1, but the way we speak about the product, it's very different again. So when we speak to our business end users, same copy and paste of the start like we spoke about last week, all around scoping the project, scoping the end user, and qualifying. So asking all the questions that sometimes at times might feel a little bit intrusive, but important to ensure that when you stand up to demo the product or when you invite one of our team to come up and talk about the product, vital for us to be able to know the utmost, all the information that we could possibly acquire to be able to deliver the best type of presentation back to your end user. And by qualifying, what do I mean? Not just around the project of how many screens, where they're going, what size do they want, when do they want them, when will a decision be made, so that not only can we ensure we deliver correctly, well, actually to ensure we deliver correctly, to ensure I have the product here on time, to ensure then we have it on site on time. And if we're helping with installation or assisting, we can anticipate and just be there to help you as resellers deliver the best possible experience to the end user. Outside of your standard projects qualifying that you do, it's also vital, again, that we understand the environment that our screens are going into and the organization as a whole. Who are the key decision makers? Are they Microsoft users, Google users? Do they use Cisco WebEx to meet and they're not utilizing Teams? All important information so we can make sure that the screen is set up ready for their environment. We can make sure that the network is similar or the way that you connect is very similar. We can make sure all the widgets that they might utilize are set up and ready to go so that when we walk in with our demo case and start to present, we already know a lot about them. And they can almost be wowed and shocked as a way of you've done your research, you know who we are, and you're only presenting me the most valuable thing. While I said last week that that was important, valuing the education users' time, when we think about our business people, often the key decision maker is wearing a lot of hats. So if we're able to get 20 minutes with them, we want to ensure that the 20 minutes are used to hit the nail on the head with every single problem that they're experiencing so we can show them the solution. But the way for us to do that and not waste time in qualifying when we arrive is for you guys to be able to ask those questions, to give us a summary before we head into that room. So when I think about the CommBox Classic S5, there are 3 particular users that I think about, or ways we present the screen to the users that are within an organization. I've prepared a little whiteboard here. I hope that you guys can see that okay. You will get a little screen grab of this after. But when I break down the way I think of our end users or organizations, we think about 3 different types. Our first end user is very much our basic end user, but also the type of end user when you have a multiple room rollout. When you're looking at a 100+ room scenario, this is where we generally play. It's a meeting room environment, Teams, Zoom, WebEx. All they do is they walk in, they hit join, they have their meeting, they walk out. The next person walks in, the same thing goes on, and when you look at what the screen is playing in that particular environment is just a visual display. But the S4 allows you to do that. It does a whole lot more than that. But out of the box, ready to go, it gives you the most cyber safe screen that visually enables you to join your meeting, have your meeting, and then walk out. You know that your IT managers are able to remote in and see, anticipate if there are any issues going on. You're able to ensure that whatever MTR solution, so we have Poly on top of this, but whatever that is, Cisco bars, Logitech, Jabra solutions, you know that it's going to work every time, and they speak to each other really well. But the CommBox Classic S5s enables our first level users to be able to do what they need to do quickly, knowing that the room is cyber safe and the screen's going to give them the best value. What I love about selling at this type of end user is the fact that these particular rooms, while for now you're looking for something that just gives you a visual reference, it allows us to create with your workplace design teams a bit of a cycle on how we can start to introduce more features as we move further down. The other thing that business leaders love to see is that ROI, and we have documents. So if you have an opportunity and you need to be able to show an ROI document, whether that's for digital signage or interactive screens, just ping one of our team members. We can give you some ROI documents on the impact of interactive in a meeting room space. There is more than enough information that shows you the value of having an interactive screen in your collaboration spaces. And just another thing to enable or allow this particular user decision maker to sign off. On the Classic S5, we move to user 2, which is a little bit more exciting end user for me, someone who is not hesitant to stand up and use the built-in Microsoft Teams whiteboard within your MTR. Zoom have the same whiteboard, but someone who is more than happy to run a very small collaboration session, or a visual person who likes to get up and engage with the content or present the way that I present here. That's where we move to our level 2 end user. So when you are promoting different spaces around collaboration, I totally understand different size meeting rooms, and there'll be rooms where interactive doesn't work. But there are absolutely rooms where we can push the boundary to introduce interactive. And this is when you start to look at who is working for you, who is working with you. What type of users do you have? There is an end user who, a large pharmaceutical and I love her approach to when she was redefining her workplace. She sent out like a little quiz to her thousands and thousands of employees who come to their Lane Cove office every day. And before she could start to design the type of rooms that she wanted and spaces she wanted to create, she first wanted to start from a point of understanding who she's servicing. Again, coming back to what I said at the beginning, qualifying, I can't build a demo for you or a product for you unless I understand you. And so that's the point that she took when she was designing her workplace, was sending out a quiz to understand who her workforce are. And it came back as 78% were introverts. And so her grand ideas of having these huge open collaboration spaces with our 110-inch so people could walk up and work together wasn't going to work, because introverts don't want to be seen in a large collaboration space. That's not where we're going to get the most out of them. So she pivoted and started to use a lot of new furniture that you would be seeing out there in the market to create smaller huddle spaces, still in a larger collaboration zone, but you feel there's a whole lot of noise cancelling going on, but you feel a lot more secure. So the introverts, who are a large chunk of her workforce, now feel a lot more safe and secure to get up to the smaller size, 75-inch touchscreen, and collaborate that way. So again, coming back to the importance of understanding who it is that we're serving so we can best deliver them the best kind of outcome. Going back to this particular user, this user would be an introvert, a visual introvert, someone who likes to, again, stand up, annotate, maybe do some mind mapping session. This particular user is often a team lead, someone who needs to communicate a strategy, an idea, or a new process down to a group of people. Also, teams who work cross collaboration. So when you've got multiple team leads or multiple people from different teams working together to create a new process or go-to-market strategy about something, this is generally where user 2 sits. So utilizing screen sharing a lot more than just meeting, utilizing the built-in whiteboarding tool. Again, the most secure screen on the market, delivering you the best delivering you the best user experience for the people who want to be able to do that. And awesome thing with going from a level 1 user to a level 2 is you don't need to upgrade your hardware. We were able to start and meet the requirements of the level 1 user and the level 2 user by purchasing the CommBox Classic S5. Not only can we tick the box of level 1, level 2, but we also can go to level 3. I would place myself here as a level 3 user. Naturally, by the way that I like to present or communicate ideas. Just before coming into this meeting, we had a large cross-collaboration team meeting, planning a few events that we have coming up. And I naturally always get up to the board, bring up the Monday board that has everything that everyone wants to do, bring up the map, the floor plan of where everyone is, and I like to annotate over it. That's how I like to run my meetings. I screen share, and straight away you get up and start to annotate. I utilize the CommBox whiteboard because I know I have more features in there within the Microsoft whiteboard. I use the CommBox whiteboard because I know that once I'm finished, I can hit the QR code on the side here and be able to save a copy of that onto my phone. Or better yet, I can save it directly to my OneDrive. Going from level 1 user, which was me when I started CommBox 5 years ago, through to the level 3 user, I haven't had to change my hardware. I'm able to service my entire workforce by making my one upfront purchase of the CommBox S5 that services the entire workforce. Now, when I speak about workforce, I'm obviously speaking about large groups, but it also is super relevant to us SME organization. They're particularly tight, not tight in a bad way, but very decisive around where they're going to spend their money, what investments they're going to make. And by it ticking off all these users, from super users down to our MTR users, the screen enables them to, for any user to be able to walk up and use it, but most importantly, in the most cyber secure way. I keep coming back to our stance on cybersecurity. It is so important that us as manufacturers take that. And I think the awesome thing, my knowledge of cybersecurity has increased in the last 2 years. And that is because it is our responsibility as the manufacturers of the screen to make sure that you can confidently stand in front of any of your end users and know that we're doing the absolute best we can to make this the most cyber secure screen on the market, to sell with confidence. And that's what you get with the S5. We, as you know, with our cybersecurity white paper that's about 150 pages long, we go through our own penetration testing, and we also encourage a lot of our end users to do it themselves. And we're quite transparent in the white paper. So when you come across any cyber organizations or cyber teams within larger organizations, that often always answers every single one of their questions. That cyber white paper has been through Emirates over in Dubai. It has ticked all their boxes. It is quite a tight white paper. So I just want you guys to know that you can confidently stand in front and talk about selling the CommBox Classic S5 to government, to local, state, federal government. Defense utilize our CommBox screens as well, but also vital for our private organizations, our large ones as well. Don't think that cyber is not a talking point for our small SMEs, because it absolutely is. And if you have had a chance, or you might sell cyber security to some of your end users, if you're in that space, you know that it's not a cheap thing to put into place. To be able to have all, to reach your essential 8 or even get to level 1, it costs a lot of money. And so CommBox just wants to make sure that we're doing our part on each end user's cyber journey, whether that's a real estate agent in your local community, all the way through to, the Atlassians of the world. We're offering that same security stance with all of our hardware, or our S5 in particular. I forgot to say in the beginning, like I did last time, which was around objections. So if you guys have any objections that you come across, particularly in the business world, if you can drop them in the Q&A or in the chat component, so that I can help answer those. Our CommBox Classic S5 for business, it comes with 5-year warranty, true on-site warranty, and the support is local as well. So we have our local support team, which is based here in Warriewood, and then we have our field technicians. So when we think about what our business end users are also wanting is maximum uptime, our screens can deliver that to them. And the way that we can set up our screens, very similar to how I spoke about education, we can service user 1 to user 3, and the control that we have of the screens throughout can enable us to be able to deliver that back. So when I go back to our home screen, this particular one, we've set up this widget here. This is our HDMI 1 import showing through to this MTR, so I can tap onto that during my meeting. Once you open that up, it actually, from lobby mode, it will automatically, at the end of the time of your meeting, kick you back into lobby mode just to keep you, again, secure. I've got smaller widgets on the side, screen sharing, whiteboarding, and this is a screen grab of what my whiteboard was that we just looked through. Some smaller icons that I would frequently utilize, but if you don't want any of them, you can just totally customize. We're going to do a couple of other webinars coming up, specifically focusing on set features of the S5 in particular, how to set up widgets, why we use widgets, where we use widgets, including icons, how do we set up these kind of icons, how we can configure the My Favorite section on the side here. But the power, the features, it's one of the most powerful, most secure screens on the market, and it enables us to be able to totally customize it based on what the end user is requiring from there. Do we have any objections that have come in? Business SME, what are they looking for? I think something that always carries us through is the Australian owned and operated logo that we have on our website and that we put on a lot of our marketing collateral. But it's very, I was chatting with someone this morning actually who is from the AV industry, and something that he gets quite frequently is, cool, interactive touchscreen manufacturer, like what country are they from? Like, no, here in Australia. They're based right here in Australia. And some people are so, like that actually can't be true. Like, we've never heard of that before, but that's something that really resonates with our SME customers. They're also a small to medium organization that wants to support local, and it's often something that just resonates with them and allows them to continue on. The other thing that really sets us apart too is our buyback scheme. So give me 1 second. We have an awesome buyback that we do. Sarah, our COO, is the SAVE ambassador. SAVE is sustainability in AV. It's a global network of audiovisual people who are really taking a stance on what we're doing around our sustainability. And so we offer a buyback scheme where we can bring back screens and be able to reutilize them or repurpose them. One, either for, if they're so far gone and we're using them for parts, we can take them to some training facilities where they learn how to deconstruct, reconstruct PCs, large format screens and so on. The other way is if organizations are upgrading before the end of warranty or before the end of the life of the product, we put them out in partnership with one of our partners into remote communities so that they get access to some really cool technology, whether that's health, education. It just enables them to be able to get access to the cool tech that a lot of our metro areas are seeing. You got an objection?
Yep. So the biggest objection is around swapping between Teams and the CommBox native UX and trying to reduce confusion.
Yeah, great question. I think with our Flying Fox feature that we've just released, which has been something that we've been battling internally for many years, that conversation from the V3X all the way through to when we released this Flying Fox. I was speaking with one of our pre-sales engineers at one of our distributors, and when I was showing him a pre-release of our Flying Fox firmware, he said, Tina, this is exactly what we need to reduce the amount of times we need to keep flicking back and forth or trying to even land an end user on the concept of moving back and forth. With Flying Fox, it is total. With S4 we started, but with Flying Fox on the S5 and a lot of the features have been rolled back to the S4. With the utilization of widgets coming through based on and utilizing the CommBox experience at the same time, it has made it a lot easier for us to sell, but then a lot easier for our end users to start to utilize. So in this particular view here, this is my Teams meeting, but I'm still in the CommBox experience platform. So I'm being able to observe that meeting and they're still able to see me, and I'm utilizing just a part of our screen whilst I can still be having our whiteboard open or other information on the side here. The other benefit of our Flying Fox now is when I tap onto our meeting room, once I'm finished with this meeting, it'll ask me if I want to go back to the lobby. And if I don't answer within 60 seconds, it'll kick me back out into the lobby. So I will naturally be back on this screen. I think what Flying Fox is enabling us to do is to have that utilization of the CommBox experience alongside an MTR, really starting to blur those lines. And we're seeing through our data collection on the screens around what apps are installed, what apps are opened. Since the release of Flying Fox, we've seen an increase in that CommBox experience app utilization as well, which is exciting. Still a journey that we're going on in regards to that uptake, but that responsibility is still very clearly on our shoulders with our customer success team to make sure that they're utilizing the most they can. I think with the Flying Fox, we have taken a strong step into really blurring those lines, and just really excited to see the next ones that are coming out. I think our next one is Goanna, and then after that is Huntsman, with our product team just really continuing to blur that line between MTR and then the CommBox features that we're able to utilize. Any other objections that have come up? Awesome. That is everything I have for today. Oh, yes. Thanks, Keith. What's Jace's?
Do you have on the roadmap the ability to use whiteboard across multiple screens?
Good question, Jason. Not yet. So let me chat with Saz and come back to you. Cool feature. Cool. All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time. Like I said, we're doing our 65-inch giveaway in a lead up to our 50th birthday celebration next year, and that video will go up onto LinkedIn either later today or tomorrow. Good luck to you all, and I'll see you guys next week for our last one. Cool. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good week. Bye.